Yes. So hi everyone. My name is Sagar Kakkala, and now here we are here for like AIOPS and MLOPS session. And as a part of this session, we'll discuss about an overview of machine learning and like how things work, like what's data lake and like what's ETL, and also we'll be doing a data transformation like using Pandas in this session itself. And like before we begin the session, like since this session would be uploaded in like YouTube, and since my YouTube have been like diversified with a lot of other content like travel, finance, podcasts as well. So to segregate content, all you have to do is just remember my name, Sargakala. You have to search in Google. You'll have my website. And in website, like everything is separated by like contents of the blog, where I could say like you could go in consecutive order. You'll have this finance as well. And in the same way, in YouTube, like everything is separated by, oh, 1 second, I think. Yeah. In YouTube, everything is separated by playlists. So here, this session here would be uploaded in DevOps with Sarakala English, and I would request to go in a consecutive order to understand things better. Though this session is designed as an individual session, mm, and I think like yeah, and like one more, you could reach out to me on LinkedIn as well here, and let's we'll just deep dive into session now. Yeah, like what's machine learning exactly in a layman terms? Like we'll not go in the definition wise, but let's go in a layman wise. What I mean by layman terms, let's say, like since because I want to make things clear, so that's where I took a basic example of our daily usage. Let's say like you have an Instagram account, and let's say as a person like you are actually watching the reels, like with the kind of engagement we do is like through Instagram reels, posts, and everything. And how Instagram makes money is like the more time you engage with them, the more they could actually sell advertisements, and with advertisements, they get a lot of money. So for them, the main purpose is to keep you engaged. So how does the machine learning helps here is, let's say you started liking a sad reel, say you started saving a sad reels or started commenting on sad reels, and your Instagram algorithm starts to show you a, a kind of depressed reels itself, because like that's where as a part like you're getting more engaged with this, you're getting more connected with these kind of videos. So that's where your algorithm completely changes in that way. And the same way, let's say like your friend like who is into much of gym, like he started watching the gym transformation videos, or started saving nutrition posts, or started saving the gym diet posts and everything. His feed, let's say his Instagram feed, is completely filled with this gym posts and gym reels. And why is that? Like though you both were using the same Instagram app, and this is how like your user data is different, like your kind of engagement for you is different, and the kind of engagement for your friend is different. So this is where like the machine learning comes. The process of your data is collected, your data is analyzed, and your data is again preferred, so that like to keep you engaged. And then the same way, this is on the Instagram side. And this in the same way, let's say like you have the Amazon.com website. Let's say I had bought a smartphone, and like the next time when I open the Amazon.com, like what it shows is like related products related to a smartphone. Uh, be it like headphones or phone stand or something. Why? Because I bought a smartphone, the next product that I could like purchase is something like this, so related to smartphone. So that's how like Amazon targets on their sales. So this is more of like a business model. So like to understand, like collect the user data as much as possible, understand the patterns of the user, and then try to make more business out of it. And like since this is like a huge set of data, let's say like not just you and your friend alone uses this Instagram or Amazon.com, there are like huge number of people and like huge set of data that goes in this place. So that's where like we'll automate this complete process of like user collection of user data, like analyzing of data and like patterns of data, and like what to show to what keeps our user engaged. So that's everything comes under machine learning. This is on a normal terms. Uh, is this clear? Yes.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, like we'll get into deep dive into topics as well as we go further in the sessions. But this is something like we'll have an overview of session. Let's say here like we'll have data lake. Data lake is not just like a software or a tool. Data lake is something like an architectural concept, a storage architecture concept. Because like we need like for our user, let's say we are running a business and we need as much as data as possible to make our business profitable. It could be any data. Let's say like you could get like images, you could get like photos, videos, audios, or anything related to user, and you want all this in a centralized repository. Like all the raw data could be in a centralized repository. So that's where like a data lake is a preferred concept. Centralized repository is like anything like CSV, JSON, or any formats. Everything you could keep at one place. Like you could keep the tools as something like Amazon S3 bucket, or even that comes under, or blob storages. Even that could come under like centralized repositories. And another thing of scalability and flexibility is, let's say, like the more the data you add, it could actually increase as well. Like as you know, the S3 buckets and all, these are clouds. So you could add as much as storage as you want. As the storage increases, so even if your cost increases, like the more you store, the cost increases. A kind of like cost effective storage, you will only pay for storage tier you use. And compared to like traditional data warehouse, like the cloud storages are most much preferred now. And also the centralized data, diverse data types. As I said, like you could um, save any kind of data here. And that's where like the data lake concept is preferred mostly in machine learning. So that's on that. And like we would actually also have this concept of ETL. ETL is nothing but extract, transform, load. Extract is nothing but you'll have as much as data as possible. Let's say like as a user, let's say as a company, I'll take as much as user data as possible. And what I'll do, I'll transform it. I'll transform it in the sense I'll make a standardizing format, or I'll clean the data like which is not necessary. Let's say there were duplications or something. So I'll remove the duplications, and then I'll load the data. Load the data in the sense I'll be loading it into ML model so that it could actually, the automate and show exactly the user preferences. There are some ETL pipelines as well in place, which we'll discuss later. So this is on an overview of extract. It's more like you could pull data from APIs, logs, stream versions, anything. And data could be anything. The goal here is to collect as much as data as possible. That's extract. And transform is where like we'll clean the data, we'll restructure the data, and we'll do actually we'll do this in this demo for this session today. And load is something like we'll be loading into ML model. So for our ML model to analyze like what could user buy next. Let's say I bought a phone, and like if I load the data, okay, the user bought a smartphone, let it be like Samsung. So I could show him the Samsung headphones. So that, like if I show him the ML model here analyzes, if I show him the Samsung headphones, or like what his budget, like let's say like in the previous patterns, it even checks the previous patterns of what budget I use. Let's say if I'm buying something like on 2K INR or 3K INR products, it starts to show me 2K INR, 3K INR products, so that like sales target hit is larger for Amazon.com here. Let's say if it shows Samsung headphones are 20K or 30K, which obviously as a user, like based on my previous patterns, even it has to search my previous patterns as well, the kind of amount I put to buy the products. So it actually analyzes everything and then shows the product. Let it be like 2K, or it could actually even get into the color as well. Like let's say I'm buying more of the black color. So it starts showing like black Samsung headphones with 2K in the product. This is where, uh, like I have a high chances to buy that product, and Amazon has high chances for the sales. So that's how like ML model works. Till here, clear, right? Like we'll now get into demo. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Yeah, thank you. So data transformation, like we'll be using Pandas. Pandas is nothing but a Python library. Either you could actually take an EC2 instance, install Python, and like in Python, maybe in this demo I could not show. It's just like the same commands. You could just put in .py, .py file and then run Python 3 and whatever like demo.py or something, whatever file you saved. But since I don't want to take the server, like I'll be using something like a web-based itself, web-based Jupyter install, where I'll go for Jupyter Lab. Here I'll be using this Python PyDate. I tried using this, but this does not have Pandas library, so I would prefer like use this PyDate. So yeah, and like for us to actually have the data, let's say you could actually go for this dummy data, customer data CSV, and just download this. Once you download it, you could just like click on upload. Maybe not this. Where is this? Okay, where did it download? Okay, I think it goes here. Customer sales data. Yeah, I'll be taking this because of the command because I went for one. Yes, both are same. So just if I see this log, this is how I actually took some dummy data here. So the dummy data here goes for like say, let's say there are something like you could see there are like missing values here. There are like some phone addresses that are missing, and there are like that because our user is the same. Let's say like the Jan Doe, he purchased headphones once. Jan Doe purchased mouse once. Let's say we have a e-commerce project. Like before we actually get this into ML model, what I had to do is like try to remove duplications, try to, like not the model to get confused. When it has empty values, it gets a lot of confusions. So that's where we'll try to remove these empty values using, because this is actually a small data set. You could actually use Excel and just like remove and like fill, uh, you know, use Excel commands and fill. But like when there are like huge data sets, that's where you could, I think like a small to medium data sets, you could use pandas. Like since this data is even like 110, like we could you take pandas library as for our benefit here. And let's say, yeah, this is how, yeah, I think like this is done, this is done, this is done. Use pydoid, yeah. Import pandas as PD. So here to run the code, either you could click on this run or just shift plus enter, like if you are using it for the first time. So if it gets for next line, so that means your command is right. And let's say if I give something wrong and I start running to, as you could see, there is no module named pada. If it does not go for next line, that means there is an error that you had to solve. So it gives a flexibility to, like this Jupyter notebook gives a flexibility to search for each and every line. That's where like we went into this, and also the cost effective as a select shift plus enter. Yes, and now we are reading the data. Now since like you had the data here in the same, now we're asking it to read the CSV file first. So there is the CSV file. We'll be asking it to read the data. Yes, so we read the data now. Like the pandas has read the data now. DF is nothing but data frame, and PD is nothing but pandas because we had used as command here. Like instead of pandas, it's just PD in a shortcut. And now to search the data, let's say df.head. There are like first few rows that are displayed. And here these are actually indexes generated by pandas. These are not our indexes. So like I'll explain like why this index I explained, and why you need to remove this as well. So the complete info of the table that I need, if I want a table info completely, so it's just like data frame.info. As you could see, okay, there are like column customer name has like non-null values, like 110 non-null values, like phone number non-null values and everything, and like what kind of like price is something like it has an integer, and quantity is something is in like integer is in the sense like I meant float, it's more like 2.4 3.5, because integer is only just like 1 2 3, and like float is where you could have the values of float 2.5 3.5 and things. So as you could see, these are the prices, and these are in like float data type. On this is something like we're just reading the data. and we want to search like how many null values are there. Is null is nothing but in the data frame what are the null values, because we want to remove the null values before we upload it to model, so that our model does not get confusions. So as you could see, in customer name there is no null value, in phone number there is a null value, and in quantity there are like large null values, so we'll concentrate on this first. And in phone number there is like six null values, and in address there is uh six null values. Okay. And if you want to search only a one column null values, all you could do is this. This is just an explanation of like how commands works. Like quantity is a column here. Like what's the column? Quantity. In that, like what's unique? Like the values that are unique is like 2, 1, 4, 3. Mm, and here, yes, in this, like I'm searching with quantity null values. Okay. Only in the quantity column, I want to see all the null values. So that's how it is. So all this quantity. So you have all the null values since it displayed most of the table. And if you want to like search only two columns, let's say you want like the product ID and the quantity it is null, or the product and the quantity it is null, you could actually segregate using content as well. Let's say this, as you could see in smartphones, there are like no quantity and it has like price kind of segregation that you could do, that you could play with data. And here, what am I doing is here, like we're going for quantity median because I want to fill the null values. And to fill the null values, what I'll do is I'll take a median. This is one type of statistics that I could use just to fill the null values, or I could just fill zero of things of my choice. Quantity could be zero or an assumption of median, because on an you could take even the average or mean or something as well. Median is nothing but I think maybe I could just go for a bit of like max again here. Let's say I'll just yeah, because here it does not show calculations. Let's say it shows like 1 to 45. 1 2 4 7 6. Let's say we have this number, like I'm just showing like how median is calculated here. So what median, like what when I give median, what it does is like first it arranges in ascending order. So it could be like 1 2 4 6 7. Oh, so this is how it arranges. And like if check if it is like odd value or like even values, like 1 2, these are like quantity of 5, these are odd values, and the median is 4 here since it is odd. Okay, sorry, my bad. And let's say if I have one more value here, let's say if it is 8, and what happens here is like what are the middle two values? Let's say it is 4 and 6, like it would be 4 plus 6 by 2, 10 by 2. The 5 is the median here. You understood, right? Like how median works here. Like if it is odd, it's exactly center value. If it is even, whatever the center values are there, it's average of those two values, right? And now here, let's this is just a max. Okay, yes. So I'm just actually calculating median, and I took a new column, like a new variable, you could say, and I had actually calculating median with quantity. So now what it does, like it actually calculated median, and to search the median, you could just click on print. Yeah, 2.0 is our median. So compare it to it, like as it arranged like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think like it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and it calculated our median. And now, yeah, let's say we want to fill this median values in between. Yeah, the null values, we want all these null values to fill with this median value. So this is like df quantity and quantity dot fill na. Fill na is nothing but fill null values with quantity median, the kind of value that we got now here, like with fill with 2.0. Okay. So yes, so this is done. And also there is like another like few more values that are actually we want like no empty values. What we'll do is like we'll fill with unknown. Let's say the phone number, like you don't know the phone number here. So I'm just filling it with like unknown. The same way I think like there are like empty columns in address as well. So I'll be filling it with unknown, a string here. Mm, where is this? Okay, yeah. The same way I think like there are few values like address as well. Mm, yeah, now if I want to search the null values that are remaining, I think, yeah, no, it's no, there is this null values count. Yeah, so now let me search for the null values again because Max, what we did, like we filled the null values everywhere. So as you could see, now there are no null values in any column. So we were successfully removed the null values. I think, okay, where's clean the data? I think there are some column that got missed. Fine, I'll check that later. Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry. So what I'm doing, like, and if you want, like, since we cleared these values, even though, as you could see, now nothing has been filled. What happened is, like, it generated the data, but it does not update the CSV file, which is already present. So for this, like, what we'll do, we'll create a new sheet and we'll say the whatever the changes that were done, we are actually to CSV. We're getting into a new CSV file. And index false is something that I told because these are generated by pandas. We are removing this column there. That's it. Mm, yes. Where is this? As you could see, now there is a new CSV file that's formed. If you open this, as you could see, there are no empty values. This is one type of cleaning that we did, which is actually a part of in ETL, it's a part of transform as well, like where you're actually transforming the existing data in a simple terms. And like we could go further as well, like we want to standardize the data or like label the data. Here we'll take like bins, we'll take labels and everything. And like I'll show what exactly trying to do here. Bins is like 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 second. Let me put it first and then explain. So what I did, bins is nothing but like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's I took the quantity label here, like the quantity column. In the quantity column, what I observed is like there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and like the max numbers are repeating. So what I want to track the user, let's say how much kind of quantity he's ordering from Amazon or something. So what I did is like from the ranges, these are ranges from 1 to 2. I would prefer it as low, and 2 to 3 I labeled it as medium, and 3 to 4 is more like high. Since this is a basic example, I just took like a small quantity of numbers, but in reality the things might change, but the concept would remain the same. So what I did is more like I created a new column called quantity label. In that we'll be taking quantity as an example, and in that quantity we'll say like bins, like whatever is there in between range 1 to 2, label it as low. Whatever is there in range 2 to 3, label it as medium, and 3 to 4 as high. So that's how I labeled it. So I created a new column, and to see this, you could just click on, yes, this. So as you could see, two is low, one is low, and like who is ordering a low quantity and who is ordering a high quantity. Let's say, yeah, I'm actually taking one more data here. So this is transformer data. Here, let's say I could see like the Jando is ordering low. Maybe like here, I think there would be another Jando as well. So what kind of products is ordering? The kind of examples, maybe like the model could analyze here better. Let's say headphones is ordering very low. So this is where I can't target Jando here. Like with headphones, he might not be interested, but I see in the medium quantity, he's ordering mouses. So being like if the ML model, what it does is, I think one second, yeah, medium is mouse. So being an ML model, what it does is like instead of showing headphones, because like he's ordering too low quantity, I'll target mouse a lot to show on his like feed so that like my sales would be high. Same way, let's say high. I think like his tablet, like Jandoy orders more tablets than mouses. So the more I would try to show prefer on his, like when he opens Amazon.com or something, is the tablets. The first target for me would be tablets. And second thing would be for Jandoy, the same person, would be mouse. And the third thing for me, at the least I'm bothered as an ML model, is like show headphones. So this is how you target sales using the data. I think, yeah, this is all. I think like we're done with the sessions. Do you guys have any doubts till here?
No, Sagar.
Yeah, let
No,
me
it's
stop the
fine.
recording. Wait, let us take.